Hey, I'm Dan with See Inside Sewer Scope. About to do a sewer scope inspection at 1970 South Lowell Boulevard. I'm just going to give you a show of where I'm doing the inspection from. So I actually have a closet here. It's dedicated to your lift station, right behind the laundry unit. And here's all your plumbing for the property. You go outside the door, you notice the laundry unit there, stairs, okay? So my objective today, to check the main line, and ensure proper flow for waste and water getting out to the city sewer. Instantly jumping into the line, we transfer over to cast iron, which will be a 4-inch line. This transition has seen some rusting, and you do have an extra Studer vent coming off the top there, so that's not a hole in the pipe. That's actually a venting coming off the top line, 1.25 inch or 1.5 inch line coming down. And they actually just have it capped off. So it is not a hole, it is actually a tie into the line. Cast iron looks to be in pretty good condition actually. We're going through the foundation wall. And I imagine once we get out to this backyard here, because the line is going out to the backyard, you do have an easement. Wherever the power lines are running, the fence line, that's pretty much where your sewer line is going to be, underneath the ground. So, I imagine we're going to transfer over to a clay line right there. So, 23 feet, we transfer from cast iron over to clay. This union is going to be the first of two parts of the line that I'd like to say are the trouble areas, just because they do the construction at different types of different times. So they pretty much build the city line in, then they build the foundation line, and then they connect A to C. So usually with the ground coming on top and all the landscape, sometimes this transition right here can get some settling issues, and you can see it disconnect or offset. We don't see any cracking, no offset, and no root infiltration. So it's already past all the worries that I was getting concerned there with that union. And this clay line is going to be 2 to 3 foot connections. Right there is a union, and you do have some roots. That is extremely common with clay lines, no matter who installed it or where they did it. It will seep a little bit of water, and therefore you get roots. But really, this is very well put together. I'm not seeing any offsets whatsoever, or pressure crackings at the union, so that's good news. If you look towards the top side of the line on either side, you'll see a white line versus a dark side. That's going to be your water flow. So whenever you're running things at max, that's as high as the water gets. So we're going to kind of keep an eye on that water line just to make sure that it doesn't go up to the top of the line and oval off, because that will show that it's had signs of backup. So far we don't see any signs of backup, very little root infiltrations. I'm not really seeing anything that's going to concern any maintenance right now. And in the future, I'd say this is going to need very little cleanings because there's just not that much roots growing in here. You don't have that much plant life in the backyard. Yeah, I mean, I bet you could go 5 years, if not more, without cleaning this thing and not have any troubles whatsoever as far as backup goes. Jeez. Alright, well, if that's not lucking out, I don't know what it is. This line is in very good shape. If you look, that's the city line right in front of you right there, okay? If you look, there's a little bit of a ridge kind of closing off your entryway. That's not a concern. That is just the city line being relined to plastic. So the city came in, and before they relined their lines to plastic, they actually had an inspection come through their line and look individually into people's taps. And they obviously passed it because you have a good entryway and there's nothing wrong with your city tap. This is the most important part of the sewer line. This is really what you're paying me for today. So with them giving you an okay, now you have me giving you an okay that your city tap is in great shape. All the weight should be off your shoulders. 65 feet, cast iron and clay. Very, very, very little roots and no concerns whatsoever. If you go to resell this house in 10, 15 years, I don't see why it would be any different than what we have today. Thank you very much. This concludes the video.